Have you ever wondered how one mind could master so many disciplines, in an era long before the modern conveniences of technology and information at our fingertips? Enter Posidonius. Born in the ancient city of Apamea, Syria, this Greek polymath later found his home in Rhodes, where he established a renowned school. His expertise stretched across a broad spectrum, from politics and astronomy to geography and mathematics. But he didn't stop there. He was also an esteemed historian, astrologer, and teacher. His insatiable curiosity and unquenchable thirst for knowledge knew no bounds. His work spanned far and wide, reflecting the depth and breadth of his interests. His intellect was not confined to a single subject but radiated outwards, touching everything in its path. Posidonius, a man of many hats, was a testament to the limitless potential of the human mind. Posidonius was not just a jack of all trades, he was a master of them. He was considered the most learned man of his era and perhaps of the entire Hellenistic period. Imagine a man whose intellect and curiosity were so vast that he was renowned as the most erudite person of his era, a title that Posidonius wore with distinction. His insatiable thirst for knowledge was boundless, and he delved into a variety of disciplines from philosophy to science, from history to geography, and beyond. He sought to weave a tapestry of understanding that encompassed the entire world, a feat that was as audacious as it was rare in his time. Posidonius was a scholar of the highest order, a man who refused to be confined by the boundaries of a single discipline. He was a polymath in the truest sense, seamlessly intertwining diverse fields of study into one coherent worldview. His work was not just about gathering facts or solving equations, but about bridging the gaps between different fields to create a unified picture of the world. His approach was holistic, incorporating not just the physical and the intellectual, but also the spiritual. Yet what set Posidonius apart was not just his breadth of knowledge, but also his depth. He was a master of details, of seeing the intricate patterns that lie beneath the surface of things. His work was marked by a deep understanding of the interconnectedness of all things, the delicate balance that holds the universe together. This belief was reflected in his attempts to reconcile the teachings of different philosophical schools, an endeavor that showcased his intellectual flexibility and open-mindedness. Posidonius was a man of wisdom, but he was also a man of passion. He had a deep love for learning, for exploring the unknown, for seeking answers to the mysteries of the universe. He was driven by a desire to understand the world in all its complexity, to uncover the hidden truths that lie beneath the surface. In Posidonius, we see a man who sought to understand the world in its entirety, rather than in isolated fragments. Though much of Posidonius's work has not survived the ravages of time, his influence echoes through the ages. As we delve deeper into the profound influence of this polymath, we find a legacy that's been woven into the fabric of our understanding of the world. You see, Posidonius was a wellspring of knowledge, a man whose ideas flowed freely, enriching a wide range of fields. His teachings were not confined to the classrooms of Rhodes, but instead, they made their way across the world, reaching the minds of Roman, Greek, and Jewish scholars alike. His influence was such that his ideas were quoted and used extensively by numerous authors. We find his imprint on the works of Strabo, the Greek geographer, historian, and philosopher, who used Posidonius's geographic and ethnographic studies as the foundation for his own work. Posidonius's astronomical observations also found a place in the works of Ptolemy, the famous Greek-Roman mathematician, astronomer, and geographer. Even in the realm of philosophy, Posidonius's influence was far-reaching. The Roman philosopher Seneca often referred to Posidonius's theories on natural phenomena in his writings. His ideas on Stoicism, though divergent from the orthodox teachings, were instrumental in shaping the development of Middle Stoicism, a philosophical movement that sought to reconcile the teachings of Plato and Aristotle with Stoicism. But beyond the literal quotations and uses of his ideas, Posidonius's influence lies in the spirit of his work. His endeavor to create a unified picture of the world, one that harmoniously blended philosophy, science, and spiritual values, was a testament to his holistic approach to knowledge. This vision of a world where different domains of knowledge are not isolated but interconnected has been a guiding principle for countless thinkers and scholars throughout history. In the echoes of Posidonius's thoughts, we find the power of ideas to transcend time and space. His influence, much like the man himself, was a beacon of knowledge, casting its light across the vast expanse of time, illuminating the path for future generations of thinkers and scholars. At the heart of Posidonius's philosophy was Stoicism, but with a unique twist. Posidonius was a Stoic through and through, yet he was not one to merely echo the thoughts of others. He believed in the fundamental Stoic teachings of cultivating inner peace, embracing a life of virtue, and accepting the world as it is. However, he also sought to push the boundaries of Stoicism, to meld it with other philosophical ideologies. In his quest to create a unified and comprehensive understanding of the world, Posidonius looked to the philosophies of Plato and Aristotle. He saw value in their teachings and believed that they could be reconciled with Stoicism. This was rather unorthodox, as traditional Stoics would have resisted such a synthesis, preferring to maintain the purity of their philosophy. But Posidonius was not a traditionalist, he was a visionary. Posidonius's unique approach led him to develop what came to be known as Middle Stoicism. This was a transitionary phase between the early, more rigid form of Stoicism and the later, more flexible version. Middle Stoicism, as championed by Posidonius, was characterized by a more open and inclusive philosophy. It was a Stoicism that embraced the wisdom of other schools of thought instead of rejecting them. Posidonius believed that the world was complex and multifaceted, and so should be our understanding of it. He sought to create a philosophy that was as diverse and rich as the world it sought to explain. His teachings were not just about accepting the world as it is, but also about understanding it in all its complexity. In doing so, Posidonius did more than just teach Stoicism, he expanded it, enriched it, and made it more accessible. He showed that Stoicism was not a rigid doctrine but a flexible philosophy that could adapt to new ideas and evolve with the times. In the philosophy of Posidonius, we see a fusion of ideas and a quest for harmony among differing viewpoints. As we reflect on the life and contributions of Posidonius, we are left with a profound sense of awe. This man, this polymathic enigma, was truly a beacon of knowledge in his time. Born in Apamea, Syria, and later associated with Rhodes, Posidonius was a man of many hats. A politician, astronomer, astrologer, geographer, historian, mathematician, and teacher, his work and wisdom spanned a multitude of disciplines. His reputation as the most learned man of his era, possibly the entire Hellenistic period, is well deserved. His work painted a unified picture of the world, weaving together philosophy, science, and spiritual values. Despite the unfortunate loss of most of his works, Posidonius's influence on later thinkers and writers was substantial. His ideas were quoted and used by many Roman, Greek, and Jewish authors. A Stoic philosopher, Posidonius bravely diverged from the orthodox Stoic teachings, reconciling them with the teachings of Plato and Aristotle. Posidonius, a man ahead of his time, continues to inspire us with his boundless curiosity, his thirst for knowledge, and his quest to understand the world in all its complexity.